Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Daria if you're new here, and today's practice is about dropping internally to the experience in the physical body, as well as dropping any distractions or any expectations or attachments to outcome. So we'll focus on really remaining present and really remaining fluid and open to whatever happens as it comes. You just need yourself and some place to move, maybe a couple of yoga blocks if you know that you like to practice with them. And when you're ready, let's get started. We'll get started right away in tabletop. So find your way up to hands and knees, and immediately just begin to kind of explore some movement into your body. You could make some waves through your spine. Think like cat-cow, arching, rounding action, or maybe lateral movement through the ribs or through the hips. Sometimes circular motion can feel good. And feel free to play with the pace of the movements as you begin to connect to your breath. Really feel your palms spreading down into the earth. Spread your fingers and root into the pads of your fingers. Pull them back toward the center of your palms, so it's like you're really gripping into the earth. And as you continue to move here, really feel your breath deepening. So it's like the breath is spreading through your full body as you move. Inhaling and exhaling through your nose, Ujjayi Pranayama. Take a couple more rounds of breath here, and as you continue to explore how your body is feeling, see if you can call to mind anything in your life that you feel really attached to. This could be on the mat or off the mat. Like maybe you're attached to a pose being a certain depth, or you're attached to like the outcome of a situation or a relationship, something like that. And then throughout this practice, continue to kind of question those attachments and see if dropping some of them can actually allow you to feel freer and can open up some new possibilities that you never could really plan. And let's start to find a neutral spine here. Tuck your toes as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, press into your palms and send your hips all the way to the sky. Downward facing dog. Especially in this first down dog, it might feel really nice to bend the knees a little bit so that you have more space to grow through your spine, reaching the tip of the tailbone up and back, but then send the top of your head toward the top of your mat a little so you have space in the back of the neck as well. And see if you can drive even more into your palms and spin the eyes of your elbows forward. So the biceps will come beside your ears and your triceps will move a little bit back in space. Broaden between your shoulder blades. And breathe. Just wash away any tension, any tight spots by using the breath, using the exhales to cleanse. On your next inhalation, start to lift your heels, round your spine, and come forward into a high plank. As you breathe out, lower your knees, lift your tailbone to the sky as you bend your elbows towards your ribs and sink your chest and your chin to the mat. Now, untuck your toes, pressing into the toenails. Send the tailbone down underneath of you, and like a big wave, come forward through your spine up into a cobra pose. Hug in through your waistlines, through the sides of your body. It's like you're trying to grow your ribs away from your pelvis. And then reach from the back of your heart forward. Lift your eyes. Hug your upper arm bones back in space. Breathe in here. As you breathe out, come through a tabletop position. And then send your hips a little toward the right and send your shins to the right. Stack left knee on top of right one. Dig down into your right fingertips. And then breathing in, cactus your left elbow, turning your heart a little toward the sky. Good. Press your hips forward. One more breath in. Reach your left fingertips over your ear and feel the extension moving from left hip bone all the way forward through the tips of the left fingers. With your exhale breath, come through to a tabletop. Take an inhalation, arch your back, lift your tailbone, lift your heart, lift your eyes. Breathing out, press down, round and curl through your spine. Cat pose, chin toward the chest. Neutralize your spine, and then stack your shins once again, this time toward the left side of the mat. Press into your left fingertips. Breathe in and cactus your right elbow toward the sky. Really draw the tips of the shoulder blades to touch. Arc your heart. One more inhale breath. Reach the right fingertips forward over your ear and press the ground away from you. And then as you breathe out, come back into tabletop position. Inhale, arch your back, tailbone up, heart forward, eyes up. Exhale, round and curl through your spine. Cat pose. Good. One more breath in, arching the back. Pull your hands back toward your knees. And as you breathe out, press down, lift your knees, and glide your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Let's take 3 breaths here. Washing the breath up and down the length of the spine. Palms reaching into the earth in a direction that moves down and a little forward. And then the same with the feet, except they're reaching down and a little bit backward. Notice when you really press the feet toward the back of the mat, you can kind of broaden the sitting bones and create more space in the lower back. Next breath in, lift your heels, round your spine, come forward into a high plank. As you breathe out, sink your knees, your chest, and your chin, arching the back as you go. Then untuck the toes, tops of the feet root. Wave forward through your spine into a cobra. Lift your heart. As you breathe out, kick your left heel in towards your sitting bone and circle your eyes around and back like you're going to look at your toes, and maybe you do. Draw back on the right shoulder. One more inhale. Exhale through the center. Inhale, right heel kicks in. Look around and back towards your toes. And exhale, release. One more breath in your cobra. As you breathe out, send your pelvis up, back, and toward the right. Stack your shins, left knee on top. Inhale, cactus your left elbow toward the sky. Now, as you breathe out this time, float your left shin parallel to the ground. Cinch into your right side body. Then begin to kick your left heel in even more and circle your left arm around and back, catching the foot. Create a little tug of war here. So kick your left shin back, but reach your heart forward with an equal amount of energy. Find a little connection, like an energizing between your inner thighs and a lifting of your pelvic floor. One more breath in. Good. And then as you breathe out, release the grip of your foot. Kind of a funky transition. We're going to step the left foot all the way forward to the top of the mat. As you do, pivot your right shin back behind you. With your inhale breath, we'll rise into Anjaneyasana, kneeling warrior, fingertips reaching to the sky. With your breath out, palms to prayer heart center, lengthen your heart to your thumbs, and then hook right elbow to your outer left thigh, finding a twist. Press left palm down into right one, hug your belly button to your spine, and try to wrap the lowest set of your right ribs toward the left. Hug your outer left hip to the midline. Breathe in. And breathe out. Unwind, face the top of the mat. Bring your fingertips down to frame your left foot. Lift your right knee and walk your right foot in a little closer. Angle your toes out 45-ish degrees and sink your heel. So we'll find a pyramid fold here. Every time that you breathe in, let the breath travel from your tailbone forward to the crown of your head. This will induce like a halfway lift in your spine. And then when you breathe out, just bow down, folding over your leg. Take one more breath in here. Halfway lift into your spine. Good. Now, as you breathe out, right palm, root it to the top of the mat. Start to lift your right heel. Lift your left toes and pivot so all 10 of your toes point toward the left long edge of the mat. Now bend both knees, sink your right heel, and then see if you can drag your left toes all the way around toward the back of the mat, but kind of stack your knees on top of one another, almost thinking like eagle legs. So we'll meet in this little twisted side plank. Maybe start to lean your heart a little bit back. Support the back of your head with your left hand and look to the sky. Take a full breath in here. Stay as you breathe out. Begin to unwind, face the top of your mat. Use your core, place your left palm down, and bring your feet back to parallel in a downward facing dog. Next breath in, lift your heels, wash forward through your spine into high plank. And breathing out, sink the knees, the chest, and the chin. 8-point vinyasa. Untuck your toes, press into the tops of the feet. Wave through your spine, coming up into a cobra pose. As you breathe out, kick your right heel in and look right. Inhale, release the leg, lift your heart in cobra. Exhale, left heel kicks in, look back. Inhale. Exhale, come through tabletop and then send your shins to the left. Stack the right knee on top of the left one. Breathe in and cactus your right elbow up to the sky. With your breath out, dig into your left fingertips, float your right knee off of the left one, shin parallel to the earth, and then find the connection of right hand and foot. With your next breath in, arcing the heart forward, kicking your right shin back. And stay as you breathe out. Brighten your toes. It's like you're flexing them into your hand. Breathe in. And breathe out. Release the grip of the foot. As if you're moving through water, start to swim your right leg all the way around to the top of the mat. Root your foot, and then left shin comes parallel to the side of the mat. So stack it like right behind you. Inhale, fingertips rise, kneeling warrior. Exhale, palms through prayer at heart center. Lean forward through your heart and then hook. Left elbow outside of the right thigh. Palms press into one another. Feel the extension from your tailbone all the way through the top of your head. Then find the revolution on the exhale breaths. And again, stay unattached to whatever the outcome is here. You don't have to go in to a certain depth. Just let it be. Relax your right shoulder a little. Breathe in. Breathe out. Unwind, face the top of the mat. Fingertips down to frame the right foot. Lift your back knee and walk your foot in a little closer. So the feet should be about hips distance apart, sinking the left heel, turning the toes out, bowing down, pyramid pose. Shift outer right hip back and left hip forward. Even if you think the hips are square, still try to find a little bit more of that action. And then breathing in, find the length in your spine. Breathing out to bow down. One more full inhale breath. Halfway lift through your spine. Breathing out, left palm to the top of the mat. Dig into your fingertips. Pick up your left heel, pick up your right toes. Pivot all 10 toes toward the right. Then bend your left knee really deeply. Root the big toe and the pinky toe and the heel. Start to drag your right foot toward the back of the mat and just cross your right knee in front of your left one. So we're in like a little eagle leg-ish side plank. Right arm can go up to the sky, maybe hand to the back of your head, opening a little more into the tricep and the lats. And then kind of pivot your heart a little to the sky if you're able. Take one more breath in here. Beautiful. Breathing out, pivot back slowly, mindfully into downward facing dog, using your core as you go. Let's take a couple breaths in down dog. Drop whatever's happened in the practice so far. Just stay with what's opening up. Stay with the sensations of warmth, maybe some sensations of coolness, maybe some sensations that are sweet and some that aren't so much. That's okay. No need to panic or resist necessarily something that's a little uncomfortable. Let's go again, and we'll add on just a little bit. So breathe in, lift your heels, round your spine, come forward, high plank. Breathing out, softly sink knees, chest, and chin. Untuck your toes. Breathe in, wave through your spine, come forward into cobra. This time as you breathe out, take a king cobra. So kick the heels in towards your back of your head, arc from the base of your heart forward, curling through the thoracic spine. Maybe drop your head back. Inhale. Exhale, use your core, drive your hips back in space, and then send the shins to the right, left knee on top. Breathing in, cactus up through your left elbow. As you breathe out, float the left shin off the ground. Then inhale, find the connection between hand and foot. Arc the heart forward, send the shin back. Exhale, release the grip of your foot. Softly step to the top of the mat, pivoting on the right knee so your shin goes behind you. With your inhale breath, tuck your back toes and rise up into Anjaneyasana. Exhale, revolve. Right elbow outside of the left thigh. Find the anchor point there. Stay here, or you can press off of the back knee. coming into a revolved crescent lunge. Hug your outer left hip toward the midline. Hug in through your core and twist. Breathe in. Breathe out. Unwind. Face the top of your mat. Fingertips down to frame the left foot. Walk your right foot in. Toes out. Heel roots. Breathe in. Pyramid fold. Halfway lift through your spine. Breathe out. Press your fingertips down and forward and bow a little deeper. Take one more breath in. Long through your spine. As you breathe out, place your right palm down to the top of the mat. Lift your left toes and your right heel. Now pivot all 10 toes to point toward the left. Bend your knees. Bring your right heel down and then glide your left leg all the way, maybe into wild thing this time. If you want to pause in the little twisted side plank for just a breath, you can. Then continue dragging the left leg around and back. Step your toes off the mat. Bend into your knees so you're shifting the weight a little bit off of the wrist. And then press down, bridge your hips to the sky, and open up into wild thing. Take a couple breaths here. Let this be like a chill wild thing. Nothing crazy. Let it feel sweet and opening into the heart, into the chest. Take a breath in. Good. Breathing out, turn your right toes toward the left side of the mat. Pick up your left knee really high and your left arm really high. Then either catch onto the back of your leg and carry it forward, or you can just softly step left foot all the way to the top of the mat, moving slow for 3. Keep your right index finger mound down. 2 and 1. Left foot lands. Pivot your right toes out. Sink your heel. Breathe in, press down, and rise into warrior 1. Step into both feet evenly. Sink into your lunge, but without back bending. So tuck the tailbone a little underneath of you. Lift your lowest set of abs. Take a breath in. Breathing out, palms to the mat. Step into plank and take a vinyasa, lower halfway chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Next inhale breath, lift your heels round your spine. Come forward into high plank. Breathing out, lower knees, lower chest, lower chin. Untuck your toes. Inhale, rising into a cobra. Exhale, king cobra. Heels draw in, lift up through your heart. One more breath in. Breathing out, revolve so that your shins go to the left. Claw into left fingertips and cactus your right elbow. Inhale. Exhale, right shin floats. Now catch your foot with your hand. Take a breath in and stretch the base of your heart forward as you kick your right knee toward the back of the mat. Breathing out, swim your right leg all the way around and forward. Left toes behind you, tuck them. With your inhale breath, rise. Anjaneyasana, kneeling warrior. Exhale breath, palms to prayer. Lean forward and then hook. Left elbow outside the right thigh. Stay here or maybe press down and come up into revolved crescent lunge, lifting your back knee off the ground. Really reach back through your left heel and forward through the top of your head. Hug your outer hips to the midline and twist. Unwind, face the top of the mat. Fingertips down, turn your left toes out and sink your heel as you drag your hips a little bit back in space to stretch the right leg straight-ish. Now breathe in, grow through your spine. Breathe out and bow, folding in. Inhale, halfway lift from pyramid. Exhale, place your left palm to the top left corner of your mat. Lift your left heel. Lift your right toes and pivot the toes toward the right side of the mat. Bend your left knee and then start to reach your right arm to the sky as you drag your right toes back, coming through the little twisted side plank maybe. And then stay, or if you like, continue revolving right toes off the mat behind you. Bend your knees. With an inhale breath, open and expand into wild thing. Just a couple of breaths here. Root into your toes, root into your left fingertips. One more breath in. Breathing out, pivot to stack right side body on top of left. Root your left big toe, then pick up your right knee and your right arm really high And carry your leg or just step slowly for 3, to the top of the mat for 2, for 1. As the right foot lands, angle your back toes out, sink your heel, press into the 2 feet evenly, and rise into warrior 1. Take a breath in. Stay for your breath out. Hips are square, shoulders are soft. 1 more inhale. Exhale, palms to the mat. Step into plank and lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, heart pulling forward. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips up and back. Take a deep breath in through your nose, filling all the way up. Big sigh out of your mouth, let that go. 1 more time. Inhale fully. Exhale fully. With your next breath in, look forward to your thumbs. And as you breathe out, travel your feet to the top of the mat. Bring your toes behind your wrists. Hinging from the hips rather than the low back, come into a ragdoll fold. So draping your whole torso down over your thighs. Let the weight of your head relax fully. And then maybe, if you'd like, go ahead and lift your feet and slide your palms under your feet. So palms of the hands and soles of the feet connect in Padahastasana. You can use your toes here to kind of wiggle around and massage the base of the palms and the wrists. Keep dropping your head. Knees can stay softly bent, maybe more deeply bent, or maybe work to stretch your legs straighter, straight-ish, if you're feeling more open in the backs of the legs today. Sway gently left to right. Lift your toes. Bring your hands out from under your feet. Widen your feet so the toes are out, the heels are in. And then with an exhale breath, sink your hips between your heels, coming into Malasana. You could keep the fingertips down for support on the mat or palms to prayer at heart center. Lengthen your heart to your thumbs. Sink into the tailbone. Soften through the creases of your hips. Stay here or add a twist. Thread your right elbow in front of your shin. Step your fingertips off the mat beside you. And then lengthen your right arm to the sky. Take a breath in. Stay as you breathe out. 1 more inhale. 1 more exhale. Come through center, breathe in. Breathing out. Now right elbow in front of right shin. Fingertips off the mat. Left arm to the sky. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, turn through your ribs. Sink through the hips. 1 more breath in. Breathe out, unwind, face the top of your mat, reach forward. See if without using your hands you can sink all the way down to a seat. Or if you like, you can, of course, use your hands. Let's take a wide diamond shape, like a wide Baddha Konasana, catching onto the fronts of the shins. Breathe in, just lengthen your heart forward. Breathe out, bow into a fold here. Now, imagine that you're sitting on a treadmill and that the hips are being pulled back in space, like the direction that a treadmill moves. But you have to resist, so reaching forward through your heart, like it's on a string and someone's pulling it forward with the same amount of energy. This will really help to elongate through your spine. You might catch onto the feet, or maybe walk your hands even more forward, gripping the top of the mat. Action of the palms, if they're down, is drawing back in space, because this also helps to grow the heart forward. Like your hands are also on the treadmill. Widen your knees, soften the breath, and send it into any tension or any openings that you can feel. Relax your shoulders, relax your neck. Start to press down, rising slowly back up. Walk the fingertips in. Hands to your outer thighs, close your knees. And then roll all the way down to lying on your back. Take your time getting there. Use your core strength. Walk your heels in, close to your sit bones, and touch your heels with your fingertips. Place your palms down. Wrap your shoulders kind of back in space, like you're plugging the shoulders into the earth. Take a breath in, and then as you breathe out, begin to press into the feet and bridge your hips to the sky.
Start to walk your shoulders underneath of you, propping up the back of your heart, and either interlace your fingers at the base of your spine, pressing the pinky side of the hands to the earth, or you can hold on to the sides of your mat as though you're trying to rip it apart. Find a connection again between your inner thighs like they're magnetized. Lift the pelvic floor and send the breath into your chest as you press your feet down and toward the top of your mats. Breathe in. And breathe out. Untuck your shoulders. Slowly roll down your spine one vertebra at a time. And just pause once the sacrum lands. Take a moment here. Inhale fully. Exhale fully. Now do one more round of either bridge or maybe working into wheel. So let's all start from a bridge. Take a breath in, root your feet. Breathing out, roll up one vertebra at a time, hips toward the sky. Walk the shoulders underneath of you. If you're staying in bridge, interlace the fingers maybe. If you're coming into wheel, place your palms beside your head with the fingertips pointing down towards your shoulders. Hug your elbows toward the midline. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, press down. You can come to the crown of your head lightly first, and then extend the arms all the way toward straight. Broaden into your upper back. The shoulder blades are spreading. Dig into your big toes and squeeze your inner thighs toward one another. Press from sit bones down to your heels and reach from the back of your heart forward. Just a couple more breaths here. Play, maybe lifting the heels, maybe bending the knees or stretching the legs more straight, whatever you want to do. One more breath in. Breathing out. If you're in wheel, lift your heels, come back down, rolling vertebra by vertebra onto your back body. Same thing to come out of bridge. Roll down one vertebra at a time. Walk your feet to the wide edges of your mat. Open the arms to a cactus shape and windshield wiper your knees side to side. Close your eyes if it's okay. Notice what you feel. Feel your breath. And then if you really want to move into another round of wheel or just keep playing for a while, please feel free to do that. When you're ready, start to hug your knees halfway in toward your chest. And then with an exhale breath, drop the knees off to the left side of the mat, both of them. Stack them. And then kind of wiggle your hips a little bit right as you wiggle your ribs a little left. So making more space for the twist. You can turn your eyes right and just let it all go here. Soft low belly, soft face, all the muscles unwinding. Let your breath get softer, just easier. Really chill. Start to roll through the center. And then hips go a little left as the knees hug in toward your chest and the knees fall to the right. Then the heart can move a little up in space and the ribs can slide slightly to the right to deepen the twist. Eyes can go left. Check if the feet and the toes are engaging, clenching. And then do the same thing with the hands. Try to soften, let it go. Come back to the center. And then draw your knees into your chest. Wrap your forearms around your shins, curl the chin in and up, and give yourself a really nice tight squeeze. Take a couple breaths here, and every breath that you stay longer, compress even more. Thighs to the chest, chin to the chest, nose to the knees. Breathe in. And breathe out. Open up into Savasana. Reach the arms and the legs open really wide. Take up as much space as you need and soften everything. Let the emphasis here be on dropping. Drop your muscles. Drop the control of your body. And see how much you can surrender to the force of gravity. Surrender to this time to rest and process. You could stay here even longer if you want to keep resting. When you're ready to start coming back to life, bring your awareness back into your body. Let the awareness be like paint. So let it fill you up from the tips of your toes, through your legs, the hips, the torso, through the arms, the chest, the shoulders, the neck, and the head. So you're feeling all parts of your body. Breathe a little deeper and gently wake up your fingers and your toes. Just take some little movements. On your next inhalation, reach your arms back and point your toes forward. Long body stretch. Breathing out, roll to a side, come into fetal pose, rest here. Let your head relax, let your hands relax. Press down and come up to a seat. If you're able, keep your eyes closed through this transition or just soften your gaze. Meeting in Sukhasana, turn your palms to the sky and soften your shoulders. And just feel. Let yourself absorb any openings that came from the practice, anything you were able to drop, attachments you were able to let go of, any freedom that you found, whether in the body or in the mental space. And then ask yourself how you can carry this into the rest of your day and into your week ahead. In some way, maybe just in a small way. Draw your palms to prayer at heart center. We'll take one final breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, let it go. Lift your heart and bow your chin to your chest. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. I hope that you're feeling good and that you enjoyed this class. If you're not subscribed to my channel, you can do that down below. You can also join as a monthly donation member, and both of these really help to support me. Have a great rest of your day or your night, and I will see you soon in the next class. Bye.